Welcome again today to this rainy afternoon from Conamat, Ecatepec. Right? Today we're gonna hold two topics. The first, past continuous in affirmative, negative, and interrogative forms. We are discussing tense used to describe action or events that took place in the past over a specific period of time. To do this, we will need to the verb to be. This tense is quite distinct from the simple past. Remember that in the simple past, with the verb used used in natural form, but in the past tense, for example, I saw a movie. This is simple past. In simple past, check this. I saw a movie, right? ¿Qué quiere decir? Yo vi una película en pasado. This is simple past, right? However, for the past continuous tense, we also require the auxiliary verb to be. We need verb to be, right? We need the verb to be. For example, in this case, which is used was and were. Also accompanied by the main verb in the ing form. Was ing form, right? For example, I was watching TV. Check this. I was watching. I watched. Check this. I saw a movie. I was watching TV, right? In Spanish, yo vi una película, cero estar. Yo estaba viendo la televisión, in this case. Or, for example, my father was cooking dinner. Another example with this, my father was cooking dinner. My father was verb to be for singular. In this case, for he. Cooking dinner, right? It is essential to understand the past continuous so we can have effective communication, right? Skills to refer to action in progress that occurred in the past. In doing so, you need to know how to change the verbs correctly. By the other hand, the correct use of the past continuous can help you read, write, listen, and speak with people more clearly and effectively. In this class, you will be able or you will explore what it consists of its uses from a write, its affirmative, negative, and interrogative form. You will learning spelling tips and example of its use in sentence that express daily situations, right? By the end of this topic, you will be able to form using was and were, past present participle. Questions are indicated by inverting the subject and was were. Negative are made with not. For example, a statement. The first statement in the past continuous, you were studying when she called. You were studying when she called, right? In the past. Repeat, you were studying when she called, right? In this case, we are combining past, simple past with past continuous. Now, in the question, for example, we start with the verb to be, where, then the subject you studying when she called. Were you studying when she called? Right? In the questions. Now for negative. Negative just add not after the verb were, right? It's like you were not studying. You were not studying when she called. Right? This is for negative sentence. Now, I'm gonna give you more example with positive, negative, and the questions, right? I'm gonna delete all this chart. Anota por favor los ejemplos para poder avanzar a el siguiente recuadro, donde te voy a dar ejemplos en positivo, negativo y pregunta y una barrera de tiempo. Please take note for this chart. In that case, we use positive. Now, the next are positive. Just hold on, please. Negative and questions. I'm gonna give you one example for this, for each personal pronoun. For example, I was singing in positive. I was singing. Sing plus ing. This is the first personal pronoun. Next example, you were singing. With all these sentences, all these examples, I'm gonna give you with the same verb, sing, right? In affirmative, negative, and questions. Now, next example with this, you were singing. You were singing, right? Then next example with this, we were singing. We were singing. Then they were singing, right? They were singing. They were singing. Now, with he, she, or it. For he, she, and it, we use was. Also with I. With I, he, she, it, we use the verb to be in the past was. In this case, he or she or it was singing. Now, for negative, just we need just add the not after the verb to be. I was not singing. For example, with this, I was not singing. Or its contraction, I wasn't. Remember, was not, it's the same that wasn't, right? I wasn't singing. The next example with this, in this case, we're not, it's the same that we're not. Weren't, sorry. We're not is the same that weren't. I mean, you weren't singing. Then we were singing, we were not singing, we weren't singing. It's the same with this. They were not singing, they weren't singing. And thus with he, yeah, we was not singing, we wasn't singing. Right? And the last for the questions, just switch the words. You have to start with the verb to be the sentence, or in this case, the questions. For example, I was singing. In question, was I singing? Was I singing? It's the same with this. You were singing. Were you singing? Right? Were you singing? Were you singing? With question mark. We were singing. Were we singing? We were singing and question mark. And then they were singing. Were they singing? Repeat. Were they singing? And the last, he was singing. In question, was he singing? Right? Please take note for this in your notebook. Now, then, check. For past continuous, we use many use for this tense. One use is for interrupted action in the past. I repeat, interrupted action in the past. Right? With the verb to be, I mean, Ali, check this. This is the past. This is the present. And this is the future. Right? I mean, interrupted action in the past, it's like start in the past and right? Use the past continuous to indicate that a longer action in the past was interrupted. The interruption is usually a shorter action in the simple past. Remember, this can be a real interruption or just an interruption in time. For example, with this, I was watching TV when she called. Example, with in action interrupter in the past. Repeat. I was watching TV when she called. When she called. Right? I mean, this action was interrupted when she called. Right? Repeat. Another example with this. While we were having, repeat, while we were having, while we were having the picnic, that, sigue la oración, it started to rain. It started to rain. Mientras estábamos teniendo el picnic, empezó a llover. Right? Now, what were you doing when it was stirred? I mean, ¿qué estás haciendo cuando comenzó el terremoto? Another example. Sammy was waiting for us Sam was waiting for us when we got off the plane. When we got off the plane. When got off the plane, yes. I mean, Sammy nos estaba esperando cuando bajamos del avión. Right? Another example with this, and the last, check. Pues, anoten eso y ahorita les pongo otro ejemplo. Now, another example with this use, what were you doing? I mean, person A say, what were you doing? What were you doing when you broke your leg? When you broke your leg, right? And another people says, I was skateboarding. The person B says, I was skateboarding, right? I was skateboarding, right? Now, however, you can also use a specific time as an interruption. At, for example, at midnight, we were still been driving to the desert, right? Yesterday, it at the same at this time I was sitting at my desk work. Now check the structure for all this. Now, to form the past continuous tense, you will need two elements. The verb in the past, was and were. The verb in the past was and were, plus the verb ending in ing, right? Sorry, right? The verb ending in ing. Now, this is the structure for this. Now, the verb in affirmative statements, you need to use the first was for the pronoun I, he, she, and it. Was we use for I, he, she, and it. And where for the pronouns you, we, they. Wherefore you, you, we, they. You, we, they. Plus the main verb with ing. The main verb plus verb, I repeat, sorry. The main verb in ing. Plus complement. For example, with this structure, for example, we were studying for an English exam yesterday morning. Repeat the example. We check this. We were studying subject, verb in the past, verb with in ing. We were studying for an English exam. For English exam yesterday morning. Exam yesterday morning. Now, in negative statements, you need to use the next structure. You will need was not on the contraction, wasn't for the pronouns I, she, and it. Wasn't with I, he, she, and it, right? Plus the main verb with ing. Plus complement. She wasn't running in the morning. Another one example with this structure, she wasn't running in the morning, right? Or this morning. She wasn't running. This morning, right? This morning. Another example with this, check this. For example, we weren't studying for an English. We weren't studying for an English exam yesterday morning. Now, to ask in questions, anoten eso y les pongo la de pregunta. Now, for those for questions, check the in question. You need to change the order used. For example, was or wasn't before the pronouns. I, he, she, or it, right? Then the main verb with ing. Was the main verb with ing, right? The main verb plus y with ing. Then the complement and question mark. Complement and question mark. For example, one example with this structure. Was she running this morning? Was she running this morning? Question mark. Was she running this morning? And another example with this. Were we studying for an English exam yesterday morning? Right? Ahora sí, anoten eso y ahorita seguimos con la clase. Well, right. Vamos a continuar. Voy a borrar. Now, I'm going to give you some things for ending rules. Look at this. Look this board for a. You will observe the rules to changes the ending of the verb. Spelling changes with ing. First rule for this spelling rule. The first rule, we changes verbs normal verbs in gerund. For example, verbs ending with one a. With one E, right? For example, E sound, right? Is silent. This, E sound is silent sound. For example, believe, have, live, take, move, believe, have, take, move, live. En todas estas, la E no suena, es una E silenciosa, right? Now, for changes in your drop I am at ing. Man at ing. So, believe changes in believing, right? Have changes for having. Take changes for taking. Live changes for living. Move changes for moving, right? This is the first rule. Next, short one syllable verbs ending with one syllable. On one syllable verbs ending in with with consonant, vowel, consonant. Repeat, consonant, vowel, consonant. Consonante, vocal, consonante, right? For example, in this case, sit, get, plain, run, stop, think, plain, get, thinking, plain, get, run, stop. Don't say stop. Don't say stop. Say stop with S, no S. Stop. All these words changes. The rule says that we have to duplicate the last vowel, the last consonant, sorry, and add ing. Double final consonant and add ing. In that case, sing is like singing. Check this. And playing, duplicate the last consonant, playing, getting, run, running, stop, stopping, right? Repeat. Uh, singing, playing, getting, running, stopping, right? Now, the next rule, two or more syllables, verbs with two or more syllable verbs with consonant, vowel, consonant. Consonant, vowel, consonant, right? For example, consonant, vowel, consonant, but with two more syllables. I mean, two or more syllables. Two or more syllables. For example, begin, forget, begin, forget, regret, admin, upset. All these word changes in this case, double final consonant if the last syllable is stressed, right? For example, beginning, forgiving, regretting, admiring, upsetting. Right? Please take note already for this in your laptop. Anota eso en tu libreta, laptop, donde sea que estés trabajando. Y ahorita continuamos. ¿Estás listo? Are you done? Okay. Now, please check this. The last rule for this verbs ending in ie. I sound silence. Verbs ending in ea, right? For example, die, lie, die, die, uh, lie, die. All these words changes ia to y and add ing. I mean, change ia to y and add ing, right? For example, these words it's like dying. The first, lying, lying, dying, right? Anota eso y ya son todas las reglas de gramática para este tema. Now, this is time for the first homework for you. Now, for the speaking part, this is the first homework for you. Now, for example, yes, for speaking part, you have to speak. You record yourself. Use the past continuous, right? The past continuous. Remember, you will allow you express activities that you carry out in your life at specific moments. Think about all these activities you did yesterday during the whole day or specific day last week. Prepare it in a Word document, right? Remember to include the following aspects: when, where, time, and place. When, where, time, repeat, time and place. This is the first. When, where, time, and place. Next, what? Adjective. What with adjectives? Adjectives. Right? What with adjectives? Who? People that were you, the people that were you with you. People that were with you. Right? And why? Reasons. Remember, we use why for reasons. In this case, reason you like that day, right? This is for the speaking part. Now, what is the difference between past continuous and past simple or simple past, right? What is the difference, right? In one moment, I'm gonna give you the difference between two, uh, these two times, right? Esta es su tarea. Hemos llegado al final de la primera hora de clase. Vamos a la segunda. Vamos a la segunda hora de clase. Espero que hasta aquí no tengas ninguna duda para poder seguir avanzando. Right. The contrast between past simple and past continuous. Now, where is the difference between all these two tense? Right. The past tenses are very important due to the facts that they allow us to describe action or past event in history. The past simple describes action that happened in a specific moment in the past. Repeat, the past simple describes action that happened in a specific moment in the past. On the other hand, por otro lado, the past continuous describes action that were in progress in the past. Right. Today, you will learn the difference between the past simple and the past continuous in the affirmative, negative, and interrogative forms, and describes actions that took place in your life. At the same time, you will be able to talk and write about your last holiday or contrast finished actions. Action mentions that the actions that were in progress in a specific moment, and finally mentions those actions that were happening simultaneously, right? For example, I repeat, simple past. Check this with simple past. For example, with simple past, my family and I went to the beach, right? For example, the question for this: What did you do the last summer? The possible. What did you do the last? What did you do the last summer? And you can ask my family and I. Repeat, my family and I went to the beach. Went to the beach, right? This is with simple past. Now, for present, past continuous, this is for simple past. Past continuous. Check this example. What were you doing in this photo? Repeat. What were you doing in this photo? What were you doing in this photo, right? What were you doing? And you can ask for this question, we were playing on the beach. We were playing on the beach, right? So we use this past simple and past continuous to describe short stories about your last holiday, to give information in the past and to talk about actions that were in progress. Contrast the use between possible and past continuous, the affirmative, negative, and interrogative form. First, past simple. The first, past simple. The past tense are essential because they describe action that took place in our lives, right? The past simple is used to talk about finished actions in the past. Repeat. We used to talk about the past simple. We used to talk about finished action in the past, right? Finished action in the past. Now, for example with this rule, I traveled to Cancun last summer. Repeat. I traveled to Cancun the last summer. Now, this is one example. Now, another example, I visited the National Anthropology Museum. I visited the National Anthropology Museum, right? Museum. Now, please take note for these examples. Right, remember, for the positive sentence, the structure is subject, verb in the past, this, repeat. The structure for this is subject plus verb in the past, plus complement. subject, verb in the past plus complement, right? Now, for example, I, subject, traveled, verb in the past, to Cancun last summer, complement, right? When a regular verb is used in the past simple, most of the time, it is added at the end of the verb. For example, play, playing, right? Play in simple present and play it in simple past, right? Or stay, staying. Stay, staying. Now, for regular verbs, there are some spelling rules that we have to take into consideration. Now, check, for example, some spelling rules for this. This is the spelling rules for the regular verbs in the past. Add first. Spelling rules for regular verbs. For example, the first, add ed. Now, in this case, for example, work, stay, just add. This case, for example, work or stay. This is for present simple, right? Present simple. Work. In past simple or simple past, work, worked. Stay, stayed. Just add ed to the end of the verb. Now this is the first. Next, just add did, the verb finishes in e. Just finishes in e. For example, like or love. In this case, for all these words, just add the to the end. This is in present, in past, like, love, right? This is for verb finishes in e, right? Just add the to the end of the verb. Now, if a one syllable verb ends in a consonant, vowel, consonant, double the final consonant and add a the. When the verbs ending in consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, just add ed, right? For example, and double the final consonant and add ed. We duplicate and add ed. For example, stop, stop it. Right? Stop, stop it. Now, many common verbs are irregular in the affirmative. For example, speak, spoke, run, ran. For more information about this irregular, check one page in the internet. Now, for negative, check this. Anota eso y ahorita te pongo la forma negativa. Disculpe. Now, for negative sentence in simple past, check it. For negative, do you remember this structure? First, we use the subject. Was, did, auxiliary, did not, or didn't. Did not, on its contraction, didn't. Sorry. Plus verb in present simple. This is important. Verb in present simple. Plus complement. Right? For example, he didn't travel to Cancun the last summer. Repeat. He didn't travel to Cancun the last summer. He didn't travel to Cancun the last summer. For all the personal pronouns is the same structure, right? For all the personal pronouns. Repito, esto es para las preguntas negativas, para entonces nuestro verbo tiene que ir en presente simple y este se va a ocupar para todos, tanto para I, he, she, you, it, we, they, for all the personal pronouns, it's the same. Now, We're gonna look the interrogative sentence in simple past. Now, what is the structure for questions? For questions, the structure is the next. We start with the auxiliary, did, plus subject, plus verb in present simple, did, subject, verb in present simple, plus complement. One example for this one. For example, did we travel to Cancun the last summer? In this case, we say did, subject, we, verb in the simple present, travel. We traveled to Cancun the last summer. Right? Did we travel to Cancun the last summer? This is for interrogative sentence. Right? Right. For all the subjects, we use the same auxiliary. I mean, did for all the subjects. For I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. For all subjects, we use the auxiliary did. Now, it's the term for past continuous, right? Past continuous. Past continuous. For example, for affirmative sentence, we use the next structure. Remember, the past continuous is used to describe an action in progress at a specific moment in the past or to describe activities that were interrupted by a short action in the past. Now, for example, I was watching the game. I was watching the game last Sunday at 10 o'clock. Right? Now, what is the structure for this? First, we have the subject, then verb in the past, plus main verb, plus ing, plus complement. Repeat the structure for affirmative sentence for past continuous. Subject plus verb to be in past, subject plus verb to be in past plus main verb plus ing plus complement. Right? Now, for example, were used to the plural pronouns and was used for the singular plural pronouns except with you. Why I was watching the game. I was watching the game. You were watching the game. You were watching the game. You were watching the game, right? Now, this is for affirmative sentence. Now, what about of negative sentence? Just hold on. Anoten eso y ahorita borro el pizarrón. Solo aguanten un poquitito y continuamos. Right, now for negative sentence in past continuous, in past continuous, continuous. Now, what is the structure for the next? Negative. Right, for negative, the structure, we start with subject, then didn't, then verb in present simple, then complement. Repeat, subject plus didn't plus verb in present simple plus complement. Right? Now, what example with this? Now check. For example, in this case, we can write the next. I was not watching the game. I was, for example, sorry, I was not watching the game. Verb in simple person. Just hold on. No. I was, and this the structure is wrong. I was. This is wrong. Sorry. I was watching the game. Subject, I was not. I mean, I wasn't. I wasn't or weren't was a compliment. I wasn't watching the game. You weren't watching the game. For interrogative, now yes, we use was plus subject plus verb with ing plus complement. For example, was I watching the game? Watching, right? Question mark. Right now, for the questions in the past continuous can be answered with a short answer, right? Short answer for these questions. Short answers. Now, for affirmative form, check this. For the affirmative, with yes, was. Yes, I, he, she, it was. Yes, I, he, she, it was. Or maybe you, yes, you, we, they were. Yes, you, we, they were. Right? Yes, I was. Yes, you were. Yes, she was. Yes, we were. Right? Now, for a negative form, now for negative, it's like no, I, he, she, it wasn't. No, I, he, she, it wasn't. Or not with you, we, they weren't. Right? Or for example, one example with this. Was he watching the game? Was he watching the game? The person I says, and the person B answers, yes, he was. No, he wasn't. Or no, he wasn't. Yes, he was. No, he wasn't. And another example with this, were they watching the game? And you can answer, yes, they are. No, sorry. Yes, they were. No, they weren't. Yes, they were. Or no, they weren't. right? Yes, they were. No, they weren't. Now, the questions in the past continuous can be answered with complete answer. Now, check this part. Where's my eraser? Where's my eraser? Repeat. The questions in the past continuous can be answered with complete answer. Check this from in affirmative form. Yes, I, he, she, it. I, he, she, it was watching the game. Was watching the game. Or yes, in this case with you, we, they were watching the game. Right? We're watching the game. Now, another example with this for in one. In that case, with negative form, this is for affirmative. Now, for negative, form, it's like no, I, he, she, it wasn't watching the game. Wasn't watching the game. Or, for example, no, you, we, they weren't watching the game. Right? Please take note for all this knowledge. Toma nota de eso o tómale un screenshot para que podamos avanzar. Voy a pasar a borrar. One, before to delete all this. Again, for example, was he watching the game? Yes, he was watching the game or not. He wasn't watching the game. Another example, were they watching the game? Yes, they were watching the game. No, were not watching the game. Now, check this example. Past simple or past continuous. Now check this exercise. We often use the past continuous and the past simple in the same sentence. Now this is important, right? That action in the past simple, in short, are usually unexpected. It interrupts it to the longer action which generally in the past continuous form. For example, what were you doing? Check this. What were you? What were you doing when the plane landed? Right? And you can ask, I was looking in my back. I was looking. I was looking in my bag for my passport when I heard a shoot. I was looking in my bag for I was looking in my for my passport when I heard a shoot. Now another example. We jumped into a car that was waiting for the bus stop. I was watching TV while my wife was sleeping. Repeat. We jumped. Another example. We jumped. We jumped into a car. That was waiting. That was waiting for the bus stop. Next, I was watching TV. I was watching TV while my wife. I was watching TV while my wife sleeping. Right? Certainly, I'll separate the sentence into past simple and past continuous for you. Example 1. Separa estas oraciones entre pasado simple y presente continuo. Te doy 30 segundos. ¿Ya lo tienes? You got it? Right. So, te los voy a separar para que veas cómo es esa cosa. Example 1, past continuous and past simple. Past continuous, past simple. Right? In the past continuous, we have I was looking in my bag for my passport. I was looking in my bag for my passport. Now, in past simple, I heard a shoot. This is for the first example. In the example number two, we have the first past simple. In the past simple, we jumped into a car. We jump into a car. By other hand, in the past continuous, we have the next that was waiting at the bus stop. That was waiting at the bus stop, right? Now, in the example number three, we have two sentences in past continuous. The first and the other one, the first is I was watching TV. Now, and the other one, well, my wife was sleeping. Well, my wife was sleeping. ¿Listo? Por favor, anota y checa que estén bien tus diferencias. Voy por un gis, permíteme tantito que el que tengo ya se me acabó. Yo otra vez, esto por... Ya ni sé. Este es el bueno, perdón, Voy a borrar todo. Pasamos a la siguiente y última parte de esto. Ya mérito acabamos, solo aguántame tantito. Esto que sigue es importante, por favor pongan atención. When we use when and while. When we have a sentence in this past simple and another in the past continuous, we often use when and while, right? When and while. But we have to take into consideration the following rules. Now check this chart. When, while, right? Rule and example. When is followed by a sentence in the past simple. When is followed by a sentence in past simple. Repeat. When is followed by a sentence in past simple, right? I mean, ¿cuándo va seguido de una oración en pasado simple? While, while is followed by a sentence in past continuous. And past continuous, right? While is followed by a sentence in the past continuous, right? While is also used when two actions are happening simultaneously, right? Repeat. While is also used when two actions, another rule with while, is used when two actions are happening simultaneously. Simultaneously. Right, this is the roles. All these. Right. Now, example. What example with when? For example, when I took the photo, the kids were playing. Kids were playing, right? The kids were playing. Always but a sentence in simple past, and this is past continuous. I mean, the kids were playing in or the kids were playing when I took the photo. The kids were playing when I took the photo, right? And one example with while. While I was having dinner, was having. When I was having dinner, my father arrived. Mientras cenaba, mi padre llegó. While is followed by a sentence in the past continuous. Es decir, while va a seguir de una oración en pasado simple. Y while va a seguir después de una oración, más bien, va a estar antes de una oración en pasado continuo. I was having dinner, comma, my father arrived. My father arrived is past simple, right? Simple past. Now, we changes the order of the sentence. For example, my father arrived, comma, while I was having dinner. While I was having dinner. Now, for example, for the last rule, while I was watching TV, while I was watching TV, my mother was cooking. My mom was cooking. Dos cosas al mismo tiempo. Mientras yo estaba viendo televisión, mi mamá estaba cocinando. Dos cosas que se mencionan al mismo tiempo. Mientras, right? Now, another example, I was watching TV. And this is all. Please take note for this chart. Now, almost ending this class. Now, this is another homework for you. Homework. This is for writing part, writing. Right. My favorite photo, right? Photographers are documentary evidence of our life. They help us remember important moments that will never happen again. Traveling gives us the perfect opportunity to take lots of photos. And like everybody, we always have a favorite photo, right? Photos. Right. Choose your favorite photo and write between 100 or 200 words description by answering the following questions. What is your favorite photo? What is your favorite photo? Or who took it? ¿Quién la tomó? Where? When? Where? Where? When? What was happening when you took the picture? Repeat. What was happening? What was happening when you took the picture? Also, where do you keep it? Right? Where do you keep it? And what do you like it? Right? And this is all for this part. Please make your homework. I'm gonna delete this chart. Now check this exercise, please. I'm gonna give you five sentences, and you have to try what is present simple and what is present continuous. This is the first, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth. Check this. My mother wasn't complaining about the food. Try to guess what is present continuous and what is simple present. 6. My father was watching TV. 8. We didn't have dinner last night. Last night. 9. I took the photos. I took the photo the summer of 2006. And the last 10, she was very patient with us, right? Now try to guess what is present continuous and what is simple past. You have 30 seconds. Check this. The first is past continuous or simple past. Is past. The first is simple. The first is past continuous because has the verb to be in the past was. The next is simple past, right? Check this auxiliary on the verb and yeah, auxiliary. Next. Third, it's simple past, right? Simple past. Where were you going? The 5, where were you going? Is past continuous, right? 6, we were having fun. 6 is we were past continuous. Again, my father was watching. Past continuous. We didn't have dinner. Simple past. I took the photo the summer of the simple past. And she was very patient with us. Present continuous. Well, llegamos al final de la clase del día de hoy. Por mi parte es todo y nos vemos el día lunes. Bye, chicos.